Hello, everyone, and welcome to a long-awaited Session 5 of Ghost of Saltmarsh. I am your host and Dungeon Master, Cranio Dad. Shortly after the intro, which will play when I am finished speaking, we will begin with the tale which we are continuing, because I like to be confusing, and it's been a long week, month, year. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now and send it over to the intro video so we can get you guys to see the players. See you in just a moment. Welcome back. So, here we are. I'm going to give a very brief recap, and then I'll have the characters introduce their players. Players introduce their characters. It's been a long time, folks. I'm sorry. And we will be diving back in. It's been a little bit of a break, but we are back, and I know many of us are very excited. Right out of the top of the gate in the background, let me know if it's too loud. There should be some music that is playing that comes from Castle Mac Andrew. You will hear this music throughout our campaign. This will be intentionally creepy and during the intentionally creepy parts. So, anyway, without any further ado, let me give you a brief recap to get everybody caught back up where we were a couple weeks ago. So, after answering the call for help, the adventurers left Vilkstead under the agreement of paid travel, room and board for 2 10 days, and an adventure. After 19 days at sea, with one unplanned amazing stop at Crow Island, the party reached the town of Saltmarsh. They met with their employer, one Varus Nightbreeze, at the new base of operations, the Seabreeze Tavern. In order to be able to work as an adventuring party in the region, the party will need to show their worth to the town council. As an advisor to the council, Nightbreeze sent them to investigate the issues surrounding the house up the coast. The party met with and interrogated a poacher named Jameson, who was facing the death penalty, and it learned that there were some things going on at that house. They worked their way through the first floor, finding a hidden passage to the basement. The party quickly learned that they were not the only ones in the house. Clearing the first floor, then by the way of hidden passages, the basement and the caves, and after a long fought battle, the adventurers were rounding the corner and saw a rowboat on the way out. They decided, with a little bit of prodding, to clear the entire house before they left. While they were clearing the second floor, they came across a bound and gagged elf adventurer who had stopped at the house to rest. He too was seeking to become an adventurer in Saltmarsh and wanted to leave the house. The party wanted to make sure that all was well. Seeing an opportunity when the party was dealing with Sturgis, the elf attacked Rogelio, killing him, and made for the woods. Only the utter prayer from the lips of the Dragonborn paladin Circes was able to save Rogelio from 3 failed death saves. Tonight, our story continues. So with that, I would like to have the players introduce themselves and their characters.
Hi, I'm Rogelio. I'm alive. And I'm a rogue who's really old.
Alive. And I'm Circes, and I'm Rogelio's friend. I'm a paladin of Lathander from Waterdeep. Just out finding my way for the first time in the world.
I'm Miss Misery. I'm playing Oddity Price, a misfortune teller that's kind of just tagged along behind Deluge.
Speaking of Deluge, that'd be me, Deluge Marshhand, played by Shannon Ariel. And I'm the resident bard / walking disaster.
I am Counter. I am the nerdy Viking. And the Counter is the human fighter of the group wielding his. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what we got going on tonight.
So, without any further ado, let us dive in. So, we're going to back up just a little bit. We had Deluge who had jumped out the window and taken chase after, I believe his name was Ned, something like that, and was unable to catch up. And you had this pole that you needed to get back to the house. Lathander had, by way of the power only given to the gods, resurrected Rogelio because of the request from Circe. And you turned your back and started to walk into the house, and over your shoulder off in the distance, you heard the telltale sound of a bear trap snap and the male scream of an elf off in the woods in dire pain. But you still made your way back to the house, realizing that your calling was there. Rogelio, you have just woken up with very few hit points from the brink of death after an amazing vision. What do you guys want to do?
I'll be leaning over Rogelio. Come back, friend. Almost lost you there.
I could tell. He kind of hoist himself up and lean against the wall. I assume like my wounds are still actually kind of bleeding at this point.
Yes.
Kind of reaching back, kind of covering the wound where he was hit, and kind of wincing in pain. Where is that bastard?
And
He's
with that Deluge,
out.
you're coming up the stairs at that point. You're rounding the corner.
That rat bastard may be stuck in a bear trap, so we have very little time to catch him.
Well, let's not let him get away.
Yeah, let's go set his ass on fire.
Yeah, we should definitely do that. He deserves it. I don't think much appreciated being freed, and so let's welcome back to the party.
All right, so you guys leaving the house?
Mm-hmm.
For now.
All right, let me put us on the map for those. Well, actually, I don't need to really put us on the map. Are you guys going down the stairs and out the door that you came in?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So the sun has risen. There's a lifting, but still somewhat dense fog in patches from the coast. And you see the path that you guys came down, which was roughly the direction of the path that you were heading toward Deluge, going back to Saltmarsh. What would you guys like to do? Are you guys looking for him, or are you guys heading back to Saltmarsh? A little bit of both?
I'm looking for that guy.
Looking for him.
I'm looking for him.
I'm gonna run towards where I heard the scream earlier.
All right, give me a perception check at advantage, Deluge.
Does Deluge have night vision?
I don't know.
But the sun's rising, so shouldn't I be good?
You're fine. It's daylight.
I forgot about that. All right, no more.
I rolled a natural 19, giving me a 21.
All right. With very little effort, kind of remembering where the sound was, you find him with his leg caught in not just one, but 2 bear traps.
I'm gonna pull out my rapier.
Help me get these things off. Oh, fuck, it's you guys.
I'm pulling out my rapier and holding it against his neck.
Are we all standing above him?
You are right behind her. Yep.
Is yours over top of Loki in the first Avengers movie? Like that?
Yep. What? Just get these things off of me.
Looks like we have some wounds to cauterize.
I was thinking we had to amputate his legs.
Well,
As long
well.
as I get to set something on fire, we're fine.
That definitely looks like you're gonna have to lose the leg. Yeah, you're definitely gonna have to lose.
Just get me out.
Before we
And,
Make sure he doesn't have any more
Yeah,
poison he can hit us with.
and why should we get you out?
Because I know things.
Like what?
Get me out and I'll tell you.
Yeah, I don't believe him. Can I just kill him?
Hold on.
Yeah, you see the color starting to leave his face. He gasps.
So, I'm
Please.
sorry. Can you clarify what his? Are both his legs? Is like one leg and a bear trap each?
It's a leg and an arm.
Okay. Guess we should at least tie him up. I want to get this information from him.
Oh, hold on. I want to help him out. And the arm that's not caught in a bear trap, I'm gonna cut off his hand.
Oh my god.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll. At advantage, because he is prone. And restrained.
Natural 20.
Nice.
I thought I was the one that went from dark.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Excellent. And that's double damage, right?
Oh, yeah, it's double damage.
And he's dead.
That's 20 damage.
Holy crap. All right, so we're getting back to Bang. You are able to very adeptly sever all the tendons and slice through that small space between the bones of the wrist without even nicking your blade whatsoever. And it comes off cleanly, so cleanly, in fact, that it minimizes the blood loss. And he wrenches his hand free, and then he starts to faint. He is still conscious, or he's still alive, but he is unconscious at this point.
Okay.
Now we can get him free and tie him up.
All right. You might want to cauterize that wound.
If we bring him back to Saltmarsh, they can probably sew it back on and heal it. Or grow it
No.
back.
Yeah, I think he should live with.
I'm gonna kick the hand into like the bushes and be like, "Oh no, it's gone forever."
Give me a strength check.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get one of the bear traps.
Or you could do an athletics check, one or the other. I'll let you,
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
let you
go
call
ahead
it.
and do that.
All right, that's gonna be a 12.
Okay, roll me a d8.
I've got a 21.
1.
Okay, it goes straight ahead, and you lose it in the woods. What were you wanting to do, Circe?
Actually, sorry, I have a 23, and I'm trying to open one of the bear traps to get his leg out.
Oh, easy enough. You with that 23, you're fine.
Can I try a firebolt on the end of the stump to cauterize it?
You certainly can try.
Is either that or tourniquet? Which one do you guys want? I have a ripped piece off the bottom of my dress. What do you want?
A tourniquet is probably safer at this point. I don't think he deserves to live, but if he has information that'll help us, I think we should keep him alive for at least now.
I'm gonna go look for those hands. Hands are valuable. I can make a light out of it.
Okay, give me a perception check for the hand.
Well, if you had told me that, I wouldn't have kicked it into the...
Jesus.
Oh, crap.
What if they need
I'm rolling
thumbprints? You know,
so bad.
What-
12.
12. You search for about 15 minutes and you're still unable to find it.
11, sorry, but yeah.
Okay, you search for about 18 minutes and you're still unable to find it.
I can
Bear
cut
trap.
off his other hand.
No more cutting off body parts unless we all agree.
He deserved it. He killed Rogelio. Ish.
Well, you're not wrong, but it's just not done in that order.
What order am I supposed to wait for? I mean, you look, his hand was there. My knife happened to slice through it.
We wait for him to fight back a little bit more or argue a little bit more, then you cut the hand off. You give him a little bit of time. If you cut it off too early, they pass out and die.
Well, we got the passed out part. That's what we wanted, right?
I
For
don't-
now.
You cannot argue with my results, oddity.
I'm gonna go find a stump to sit on. Just go through my cards.
All right.
Is he
We don't do this to that
stable?
man in circus.
You can give me a medicine check.
10.
As far as you can tell.
All right, he's fine.
Yeah, we're not wasting any potions on him.
All right.
For good
Let's-
measure, I'm gonna
let's
kick him in
just
the ribs.
All right.
drag
Give me
his
a
ass
strength
back
check.
He's fine. It's just a 5.
Oh yeah. You kind of make impact a little bit, but not enough to like bruise or anything like that. It's more like an even a further insult because of how light the kick is.
I'm tired, you guys.
We run him into Saltmarsh then, and
Yes. Let's see if anyone knows him.
All right.
Yeah.
Does anyone?
What about
Anyone have, like,
information first?
Hood or something we can put on him? I don't want to. I want to take him back to the inn.
Get that
We could put his head in the bag of colding.
That was probably a bad
that,
idea.
that like oilskin jacket that we can shift into a
Rick.
I'll take off one of my scarves because I have like 15 on and just kind of wrap it around his head loosely.
All right.
Kinky.
Anyway, let's get back to town. I need to sleep.
I need to rest.
All right, so you guys make your way back to town. It's about a half day. So I got to do a few checks. So far, he is still unconscious, and you can tell that he's breathing, maybe. And you think he's still unconscious, and you think he's still breathing. So, with that being said, you guys, on your map, I will go ahead and shift the stream over to the map so they can kind of get an idea. Saltmarsh.
Stream.
You guys are the party. You're coming up the road. You're coming up on the city gate. You guys have control over party, I believe. If not, let me know and I can adjust that. Yep. All right, so you come to the city gate. As you're walking in, you can see that there are 2 city guards off in the distance behind, and through the city gate, you see the jail where Jameson is awaiting execution, trial. Well, actually, trial and execution. They still have to do a trial. As you guys approach the city gate, one of the guards holds up his hands and says, "Can we help you?"
we need to get past through bringing this the city council because he has some questions for him. We were tasked with taking a look at the haunted cottage that was
And who tasked you? Do you have your adventurer paperwork with you?
I'll dig out the charter and hand it to him.
Mr. Nightbreeze. He was and he was the one who tasked us to us. I believe my dragonborn friends got the charter.
Okay. He takes the charter. He looks it over. He talks to the other one a little bit. He hands back the charter. Says, "Okay, go on through." You guys are able to make it through the city gate, and you're coming up past the jail. And you guys can move yourself through. If you have any questions, let me know.
So do we want to go straight back to the Seabreeze Tavern, or where do we want to go?
Don't we want to dump this guy off at the jail? I don't want to be dragging him around town.
We've
I
gotten
don't
a lot of
wanna-
information out of him.
I don't want to give him to anyone because I don't trust anyone in this town right now.
Yeah, it's if we
We have
take
a-
him with us. He's our patron. He might have a room for us to for the time being.
A nice cold
Night
dark
breeze
cellar.
may even know this gentleman.
Hmm.
Yes, I don't necessarily trust the officials of this town quite yet because we don't really understand the whole. I'm not broadcasting this around. I'm kind of keeping my voice down as we walk along. I don't necessarily trust or understand the nature of the smuggling in and out of the house up there.
Certainly. If our patron wanted us to check out a smuggling operation that he had his hands in,
Well, I sincerely doubt he has his hands in it. But I don't trust the rest of the city council.
think if we take him back with us to Seabreeze, we can, in a private room, knows that he's there, so that way we can information out of him later before we decide to let the city council know.
That's what I think. Do you all agree? Or we can drop him here at the jail if you
Sounds
want.
like a good idea.
I just want to kill him.
I know. So do I.
Well,
In
you'll get your chance, Deluge.
in time. I think if that's the case, we're gonna pretty quickly beeline over to the Seabreeze Tavern.
Okay, with that in mind, how are you guys wanting to move through town? Are you wanting to, because you have a nearly unconscious, bleeding, tourniqueted individual who's tied up with you?
Okay, alright. We need a good thing. Alright.
No, I like your idea. I just want to know how you would like to move so I know what kind of rolls you will need to make.
We'd probably want to stay off the main street and go through some back alleyways and some.
Are there any barrels nearby?
Give me a perception
Arrow.
check.
5.
You know there are barrels somewhere in the town. You don't see any immediately available, but you can kind of spot some a little bit further down the road past the jail.
We could put him in a barrel.
Can the Dragonborn carry him in the barrel? That weight?
Any
Imagine between Circe and Calder, the two of them could probably carry it.
We could just roll him down the
Okay.
road.
I also like the idea of rolling him.
actually,
Need information.
Sorry,
That
you're
doesn't
right.
mean it's gonna kill him.
It will disorient him.
I've been
Certain
rolled down a
conditions.
road in a barrel before. You get used to it. It's
That's
fine.
exactly why we shouldn't do it.
What's that supposed to mean?
she's not gonna feel it.
Walk up the street. A perception check or.
You cut out. You walk up the street and do what? Yeah, still can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you at all.
Radio cut out Wiley.
I think he was looking for a barrel.
Yeah, he wanted to find a barrel.
Okay, yeah, give me another perception check.
Roll him down the street.
Excuse me. 9.
19?
You got it.
I think a 19. Let's go with 19.
Okay. You're able to find a barrel that is empty, just fine. It looks as though the body may fit. Might take a little bit of pressure, but you can make it work.
I can always cut off more limbs if we need to fit him in.
Deluge, no. Just
it-
no.
Nick,
What?
if we-
It's all about making space. I'm very good with packing.
Tuck the arms in, and he'll be able to. Once he gets into the barrel, so you should.
It would
fine.
be so much easier if he was missing a foot. I'm just saying.
Well, let's put him in that barrel.
All right, with very little issue because he's already missing a hand and he is unconscious, you are able to get him into the barrel.
All right. Let's carry this bleeding corpse through the middle of the town in a barrel. Let's go.
All right.
Just keep it high enough that nobody can see inside, guys.
Does it have a topper?
No.
All right. That's fine. Where's that oilskin coat? We cover the top of it with that coat.
All right. So you guys are able to move the barrel through town. You pass across the bridge, past the market where you guys first came to land in the town of Saltmarsh. You move your way back to the east up the coast and end up at the Sea Breeze Tavern. Once you enter, you see the barmaid as well as Night Breeze having a conversation at the counter. There's a few people at the bar itself, and he looks at you and says, "Welcome back. What's with the barrel?"
We got a light problem. Small issue.
Not a problem, Deluge. I would say this. We just need a take this barrel to a discerning, so that way nobody can
Nice
bother
cold
for the
cellar,
time
maybe?
being.
He walks over and says, "Do you mind if I take a look?" And he opens up the barrel.
It's a guy without a hand. He tried to kill us, and he's in the barrel.
As you say that, he kind of pulls back the coat, looks, and says, "Okay." And he closes and says, "So you guys are trying to get information out of him without missing a single beat. So you guys are trying to get information."
Yeah, that's about right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember? Because I don't have my notebook. I think my daughter stole. So we'll have to take a look for any Mom 12 to see if it's in there, because I cannot find the name of the barmaid.
Oh, what was the name of that barmaid?
I may have that.
Oh, never mind. I wrote it down another. Ilsa? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
All right.
That sounds familiar.
Nightbreeze turns and looks at Ilsa and says, "Ilsa, I'm going to take this downstairs. We'll be back in a little bit. You kind of understand what to do, right?" And she looks and goes, "Yes, sir." And she just starts, talking with some of the customers and stuff like that. Nightbreeze just kind of motions, says, "Come this way." He takes out a set of keys and unlocks a door, and you see before you a set of stairs that descend. Do you follow?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well,
Alright.
I'm gonna turn around first and shoot finger guns at Ilsa, and then I'm gonna go down.
You mean finger crossbows?
Yes.
All right.
Well, guns probably are a thing.
We're working on it. It's a budding technology. So you guys descend down a set of stairs that wind up corkscrewing a little bit. You're able to surmise that you are at least a full story, if not 2 stories below the surface of the ground. And you open up and you see a typical, storage room for a bar. You see a cask of wine. You see cask of ale. You see a dry stock area. You see a humidor. You see a storage area itself. And Nightbreeze just kind of says, "Keep coming." And at the end of it, you see a steel door that he takes out another key from another key ring and opens. And inside of that door is a very large cell that has a lot of implements in it. There are chains on the wall. There is a table with surgical equipment, and there are various torture devices that may be needed at any point in time. You notice as you walk into the room that the sound of just being underground seems to disappear. It's almost like you are enclosed completely as the door closes behind you. And Nightbreeze says, "This is not my first time at the rodeo. Let's get this show on the road."
You're a very interesting person,
And he looks at
Mr.
you and says,
Nightbreeze.
"I've seen a lot in my life, and I prepare for all things. So sometimes when I have patrons who need a talking to, or I have a situation that I need to get some more information, this is where I resolve that."
And I thought I was the only one that had one of these rooms.
He looks at you and goes, "I'm sure ours are used for 2 completely different purposes."
You'd be surprised.
So it's fair enough. He goes over to a cabinet. Oh, there it is, and opens the cabinet and pulls out a very small tincture with red liquid in it. He goes, "This is just a simple healing potion. I want to make sure that he's A, alive, and B, conscious, so we can get the answers that we need." And he just opens the mouth with his fingers and just pours it in the mouth. And Ned comes to. What would you guys like to do?
Hi,
guess-
Ned.
Secure him on the table. I imagine the table has method for securing him
It
on said table.
absolutely does. It absolutely does. All right, so you give me a dexterity check.
Okay. This is 17.
17. You're able to get the one hand and the two legs, the injured one and the other non-injured one, strapped down pretty well. But with a 17, you're having a little bit of trouble trying to figure out how to tie down the other hand to where he can't just wrench it out. But over a couple minutes, you're able to get it. You know, you pinch a little bit, and you kind of get it cinched down closer to the elbow. And Nightbreeze just kind of stands back against the door, says, "Work your magic. Let's see what you guys can do."
Don't cut anything off, Deluge.
I mean, there are a few things I'm sure he's not going to be using ever again.
And he's just looking around. He's like, what, where am I? What is this?
I don't think you need to worry about where we are. I think you just need to tell us the information we want to know.
Just,
And remember that there's always consequences to your actions. This is what you get for nearly killing our friend.
He's like, "Oh, my fucking hand. What do you want?"
We told you we want information. You have it, or you're gonna die. So, I would be honest.
He kind of looking at all of you and kind of just finally taking stock of his area, of his situation. Says, "Why didn't you guys just leave? Why didn't you just leave the night house, or the house, the haunted house?"
I smack him with the back of my hand. What we did doesn't matter. You need to tell us the information. Who's running this operation? It doesn't matter what we're doing.
Look, I shine the light in the way that I'm supposed to, and they go out to the ship, and they drop stuff off, or they pick it up.
Who?
Salbin, or how do we say we're going to pronounce his name? Sablin? Sablin?
Sanballet?
Samballet.
And who does he work for?
He works for himself.
Well, he's
I don't
dead
buy
now,
that.
isn't he?
He
He
is.
doesn't work for himself, then who does he work with? Who's he
Some
selling to?
some dudes on a boat. They Yep, he's fading. You can see the color starting to drain more as the tourniquet gives way.
I'm gonna
He's
cast
go for it.
Healing Hands on him.
Okay.
I don't think I need to roll for it.
No. He coughs a little bit. Some blood comes out of his mouth. He's like, look. He's got a deal with the lizard folk somewhere, and they're trading in arms, and he's in it for the money. I don't know what his plan is. He's like reaching this weird state of torpor.
Lizard folk, where can they be found?
At this point, he's just staring at the ceiling.
Lay on hands for 5.
Okay.
Maybe we should leave him for a few hours, then come back and have a chat. I'm rather hungry.
And Nightbreeze is like, nobody will hear him down here.
I think on his maybe come to what he has done and how he can remedy it. I'll need some food and some medical attention. Yeah, I think he should be fine here to cool off and collect his thoughts and to come to. He is done.
All right. And so Nightbreeze says, "I'll make sure that Ilsa brings him some stuff down. She can handle this."
And I'll back away from him. I'm not going to lay on hands then.
All right. Um, he says, "Why don't we go back and we could go back. We could adjourn to the conference room, and you can tell me what you have found. Because this sounds
Certainly.
interesting already."
I'm gonna
Sounds good.
stay here and keep an eye on him. You guys go on ahead.
I don't think you should be left alone with him.
I can take care of myself.
Oh, I'm not worried about you.
I guarantee that when you come back, he will be alive.
And in the same condition or better than he's in now?
That I cannot guarantee.
Then you
Please,
become
I think our patron is requesting all of our presents up at to give us a bad image if with our task he gave us to so just might not be the best impression.
Do I look like I care much about impressions?
Nightbreeze is just standing at the door, just waiting.
I'm going up.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Likewise.
All
I'll
right.
go.
Okay. Nightbreeze, just as you pass by, says, "I assure you, he's not going anywhere, and you'll have plenty of time for fun." And he closes the door, and he locks it a couple times, and he walks back up, and you guys make your way back up the stairs. He waits for you all to exit, and he locks the door again. And you guys go back to the boardroom, and he sits down, and as you guys are sitting down, you see that Ilsa comes in with sandwiches and mead and food and just everything for you guys to eat. He goes, "You guys looked famished? Let's talk. What did you guys discover? I heard the name Sambalet. That's a new one. But what did you guys find?"
Well, the house
Some
certainly.
touch.
Sorry. The house, as far as I can tell, certainly is not haunted. But someone's attempting to make it look that way.
What did you find? Like, how do you know it's not haunted?
Well,
There were no specters,
first-
no ghosts?
firstly, I think we should talk about maybe a new addition to our deal. What would you say to, I don't know, pulling some strings to giving us this house?
That is another thing we wanted to talk about.
You can give me a persuasion roll.
Can I assist?
You can assist, so you have advantage to lose.
Oh, I don't think I'm gonna need it. That's a 22.
Barely beats what I have with the 21. And I only rolled a 13. So, because I will talk to the council and see what we can do. I know that the house currently isn't deeded, so there's no problem there. But I can look into that. It depends on what more information you guys have for me. You say it's not haunted, so you didn't see any specters, any ghosts, any spirits.
We did see some undead.
Okay.
We did, yes. I think those are very, very old, though. Most likely the previous owner, which I don't even know who or when that was. They were in a sealed room in the basement. But more interestingly, I think to you would be the smuggled goods we found that all appear to come from Saltmarsh businesses. There was ale, silks, and some plants. They were all.
Did you get the silks wet? 'Cause
No, we
or the-
didn't get them wet. We kept them dry.
Did you water the plants?
We did, yes. Um, but they all seemed to be from local Saltmarsh businesses. They had some kind of system set up to it looked like signal a larger ship out in the harbor, and they were ferrying the goods in a longboat or keelboat or whatever back out to the larger ship. We found that one upstairs. I think he was the one responsible for signaling. And I think I would show him the code system thing.
Sure. He looks at it, looks through it.
And there were hobgoblins, which were a bit of a surprise.
Hobgoblins is a surprise. Let me ask you a few more questions. So you found some undead, but they were rather old, probably from the previous owner. Like, what kind of undead did you find? Because I've heard stories of screams, of wailing, and things along those lines.
Yeah, the animated skeletons.
Okay.
I can't confirm for sure, but the wailing and the screaming seems to be some sort of triggered magical effect. It seemed to be when you stood in certain places in the home nearest to what I believe were the entrances to their secret operation. It would trigger that in their hopes to scare whoever away.
Okay. Now, for the goods, we have had many reports of theft over the last probably 5 or 6, 10 days from different shops in the area of some of their goods. We've had everything from prized meat to weapons and some of the items you're talking about, very expensive alcohol. There's always a market, especially a darker market, for a lot of these goods, and we've been trying to figure out who's been taking it. We do not believe it's somebody from Saltmarsh with what we've been able to find out. But I know that the town council would love to get their hands back on those goods to return them to the vendors themselves, and they're always usually adept to providing some kind of reward. And as our deal states, anything that you guys get is yours.
Well,
Yes, everything is still in the basement of the house.
Okay. And you said there was a boat?
There was a small boat that's anchored there. We were considering using it in an attempt to go find the larger vessel, but we decided it would be best to first search the rest of the house, and that's where we found our friend downstairs. Our friend downstairs, upstairs in the house.
So the friend downstairs you found upstairs in the house while you were downstairs. You went upstairs to find her, and then you put him downstairs.
Correct.
Yes.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Okay. He goes, well, it's coming up on my turn to go and talk to the town council anyways, so I can provide them this information. You guys look like you need some rest. You look like you've seen hell. I can assure you that our friend is not going anywhere. There's only one way in, but there's 2 ways out, and one is only meant for bodies that have no life left in them. So he will not be going anywhere. I'll make sure that he gets some food from Ilsa. Why don't you guys get some rest, and I'll be back in a couple of hours. Let me talk to the town council. I will ask about the house and see what we can do. Do you have and I will say retcon wise that based on some of you guys' character types, that somebody probably wrote down exactly how much there was down in that room, like how many crates of cloth and all that fun stuff. I'm pretty sure somebody cataloged it. So he gets that list from one of you guys. It says, I'll take this and see if it matches up with some of what we've known to be missing. And I'll see what we can do about getting that back here. And I'll look into getting what we can do about that house for you guys. But this is definitely good to know. And nobody else needs to know about our friend downstairs. I assure you that Ilsa's lips are sealed.
Good.
Yeah, discretion is probably the best because he's dealing with in this town, so that he's here, so that
He was When he was running away, he was running for Saltmarsh, wasn't he?
Ye- yeah, give or take.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
he goes, "Now, how did you guys catch him? Because he looks like he got messed up quite a bit."
Yeah, he fell victim to his own traps.
Hmm. Well, poaching's illegal in these parts. We already got that one guy. I wonder if there's another poacher. I'll let the town council know
So
that
it's
too.
still out there.
He goes, "All right, so I'm going to take off, get some rest. I'll be back in about 3 to 4 hours. So catch your breath, get some rest, and I'll let Ilsa know when I'm back, and I'll let you know what the town council says."
Very well.
Job well done thus far, guys. We'll see what we can figure out. And with that, he stands up and walks out the door in the direction of the town council hall. So you guys have about 3 to 4 hours. What would you like to do?
Rogelio is going to sleep.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Same
try
for
to-
Circes.
All right.
Alder's gonna get something. He's gonna get something to eat, something to drink. Take a little breather, and basically just bar, maybe keep an ear open.
Okay.
Eating, yeah.
Short
Before
rest
Circe
then?
goes to sleep, I'm gonna have a quick chat with him.
Yeah, short rest. And what about you, Deluge?
What is Deluge gonna do? Let's see. I think I'm gonna go shopping.
Okay. So the place you know about thus far is the market.
I'm gonna go there and have some fun.
All right, we will deal with that in a moment. Let me put the market up for you. All right, so it's a short rest for those of you who are resting. And Oddity, who did you say you wanted to talk to?
Circe.
All right, let's get some shopping done. We'll come back to Circe and Oddity. And we'll say you already know your food is covered, Calder. There's also a selection of cigars, pipes, and things along those lines. And Ilsa kind of points out to the back porch overlooking the sea, which is a good area to smoke.
Well, does appreciate a good cigar. Yeah. And he goes out and patio porch and just looks out over the ocean.
All right. So, what kind of things are you shopping for?
Weird trinkets and baubles.
All right. Roll me
Feet.
a percentile die.
Let's see, 80.
Okay. You find that there is a pearl and gemstone dealer who has a very small stock. There is another vendor. These are all vendor stalls, so they like rent the space for the day. Sometimes for the 10-day, but more and often than not, it's for the day. You can see they each have tags with their names and the fact that they all come from Saltmarsh and what kind of goods and wares they're selling. You also find one that has like seashell beads and things along those lines. You find general baubles and things along those lines as well. Anything in particular that you are looking for or that interests you?
Let's see, what do I need?
There's a hand vendor too, but
What a coincidence.
yeah. But you also find things like meats and stuff for ships. There seems to be a stall that's purely dedicated to hiring short-term deckhands for local travel, for fishing, for protection, and things along those lines as well.
I'm looking for a large pearl.
You rolled
A
an
very
80?
good, yes, a very good quality pearl.
All right.
A couple if I can.
All right, you are able to find one. The vendor, she has the price as 250 gold.
Okay. Do you have any that are a little less expensive? I'm just looking for one possibly 100 gold pieces worth.
She goes, yeah. I mean, she was obviously showing you like one of the finer ones, and I mean, it was beautiful. It's got like the mother of pearl that reflects blue and green, and then a little bit more iridescent, like a yellow and orange with the way the sunlight hits it. It's a little bit larger than normal as well. She kind of rummages around underneath, and she pulls out another tray, and in the tray she has some that range from pure white to mother of pearl to she has one that's in a there's a box that goes around it, and it just says Lumi on the top of it, and that one's 120 gold. But the rest of them are about 80 or 90, maybe 100 gold.
Why is this one in a box? What does Lumi mean?
She goes, this one, my one of my workers found, and it's incredibly impressive. She goes, I've never seen one like this. As a person who maybe, she goes, I could tell that you maybe have a thing for pearls and things like that. And she goes, and I've worked with a few Genasi before, and she goes, I think you'll appreciate this. And she hands it to you. She goes, open the box just a little, and then take a look, but try not to let it spend too long open because I don't know what that will do. So, do you take the box?
I'll take the box and open it a little and take a quick peek.
Okay. It takes about a split second for your eyes to adjust, but you look in and you see at first there's just the darkness, and then you can see the shape of the pearl, and it's got something in it that causes it to bioluminesce. So it's a bioluminescent pearl that has a blue glow to it. And the longer you look, that you can tell that it's not really reacting with the sunlight, but it seems to be almost pulsing just a little bit. And as you're breathing, you can see that it's catching your breath, and it's going away, and it's coming back, and it's going away, and it's coming back, and it's going away.
Can I hold on to this for possibly just like admiring it for 10 minutes? I think I can help you figure out what this is.
She goes, as long as you don't leave. She goes, I'm fine with that. And
No, I enjoy your company far too much.
okay.
If you don't mind me sticking around.
She goes, I don't know if the sunlight has anything to do with it. We brought it up, and one of the workers immediately put it in the box and just said we need to keep the box and keep it safe. So that's where I've kept it for like the last 6 months. So whatever you do, she goes, just be careful with it. But if you break it, you bought it, right? Do you have the gold to cover it? Just in case.
I do have gold and some other gems that I'd be willing to part with that I believe would be worth the desired amount.
And you show her some of the gems, and she goes, I think we can work out a deal if we need to. She goes, I trust you. We'll sit down. We'll have a chat. We'll have some tea. And she has somebody bring over some tea and some stuff like that. Do you hold it in your hand?
Yeah, I quickly clasp it in my hands to keep it safe, like it's in the box.
Okay. Over the period of about 10 to 15 minutes, you keep looking at it and just kind of like peeking at it and things along those lines. You realize that it is in time with your breath. Like it doesn't take any time for it to catch onto your breathing pattern. You even test it, like you hold your breath, you're like, and it just stops, and then you let out, and it lights up and it lets go. But after about 10 to 15 minutes or so, you feel warmth down in your throat, and you felt this before, and you have a pretty good idea about what this pearl is capable of. This pearl is more than likely capable of granting you the ability to breathe underwater.
Excellent.
So the 120 gold is a heavily mismarked price.
So, I will give you 150 for this pearl because I believe you are charging far too little.
Well, what do you think it does?
I think it's just very beautiful, and I think that it syncs to the owner's breathing, which, in a piece of jewelry, would be quite the conversation piece. I'm a jeweler, you see.
Give me deception at advantage because it's only a half lie.
That's going to be a 19.
Yeah. She goes, oh. She goes, okay. I'd love for you to have it if you would do some good with it. If you found a purpose for it. She goes, I'd love for you to have it. Let's do 150.
Excellent. So I give her some of my gems that I carry around and all of my gold.
Fair. Fair. I'll have to look it up to see exactly what it's called, but essentially it's a pearl that does grant you underwater breathing for the day.
Awesome. So, with that, I bid her adieu, and I head on back to our inn.
Okay. So, going back to Oddity and Circes. Oddity, who I think is muted. There we go.
Yep. Back when we were on that island with the crows, I found something and I've kept it hid away just in case, but I want you to have it. And she'll reach into her scarves, all the thing there, and pull out a large diamond wrapped in fabric.
Goodness.
I've traveled a lot with the circus, and I've seen it once or twice. A diamond can be used to bring somebody back.
I understand. Yes, I believe I've heard of such things in the temple.
Are you capable of something like that even eventually?
Not at the moment, but perhaps one day. The wisdom and the perform such feats.
Well, considering what happened, it's probably a good idea for you to have it squirreled away just in case.
I appreciate that very much.
Hmm.
Safe and treasure it always.
I think we were lucky to get out of there at all.
A little scary, didn't it?
Yeah, the cards didn't tell me what was going to happen. It was very odd. I normally have a very good idea of what's going to go on, but
I see.
my cards didn't show that. I'm very
What
worried.
What do they tell you now?
I haven't read them since I've come home. Or no, since we've gotten back here.
Could your cards tell us that?
It's possible. Right now it feels more like tea leaves would be a better option, but I can check the cards.
I think it's best. I know very little of these matters.
I will go sit
Understood
with
that.
my cards for a while and then I'll do a reading and I will tell you how it goes.
Again, and he kind of holds up the wadded up wrapped diamond. Thank you very much for this.
Yeah. Well, to your rest. And she'll
Joy.
wander out. And she'll go sit in a room with her cards for a while.
I'm gonna go rest.
All right. Rogelio,
Yes.
as you are trying to rest, you just
Oh,
can't
boy.
seem to shake the fact that you had almost died. Every time you start to feel your body sink into the pillow and then the mattress, that moment right when you're on the cusp and your body feels completely relaxed, like you're floating, you see some of those images come back. And you do your best to gain some rest, and eventually over time you are able to exhaust yourself into a sleep, but you're troubled by your dreams. I think that you feel that your heart is constantly racing. You're re-seeing those images over and over again, and you see your wife and your kids, and you keep hearing the "I'll come home soon" last trip. And then you hear that booming voice, and this is where you seem to be a little bit more shaken, because you've not been one heavy in faith, especially of Lathander. You're like, whatever, it's not really my bag, right? And you start to feel like you're floating, even though you're dreaming. And at one point, you find yourself facing the sunrise, and as the sun's coming up, you can feel a very heavy, warm hand on your shoulder. And you hear the same voice that you heard before when you were slipping off and shuffling your own mortal coil. And it says, "It's times like this that I'm so happy that those who follow me often are tested. I believe that through your misfortune there will be glory for all. Rest well and awaken. And you hear a snap and you awaken. It's only been about 2 hours, but you actually have a full rest.
Okay.
And we'll say that over the period of a few more hours of just trying to muddle through, you're unable to. It was the same voice. There's this sunrise. You have no idea what's really going on. But over the remaining couple of hours, everybody else is able to get their rest, awaken, get food, come back from shopping, read their cards, and you each get little tiny knocks on your door, and you see Ilsa there. For some of you, she is carrying a tankard of mead. For some of you, she's carrying a bucket of fish. And she says, Nightbreeze is returned. He is in his study. He asked that when you are ready and able to meet him in the meeting room, and he would like to discuss what the town council has said.
Well,
I guess Connor takes one of the tankards veil with him as he's walking back downstairs to meet him.
All right. So
Send over.
over time, you guys kind of, some of you go down there together. You hear the shuffle. You hear the knocks on the adjacent doors, and you make your way down, and you find yourself again in the conference room of the Seabreeze Tavern. And Nightbreeze walks in, and he's got a puzzled look on his face. He goes, "So, I spoke with the town council, and here's what I know. The goods that you found, most of them have been recorded as missing in one way, shape, or form. There's a couple that we're not 100% sure of, but I believe that by properly questioning a couple of the store owners, that we might find that maybe their initial report may have been lacking. So the town council is going to dig into that. They have dispatched some guards up to the house to make sure that it's clear, as well as to load up everything into the boat and bring it back. So you guys don't need to worry about that. They should be returning right after dawn tomorrow.
Can they return the boat?
Yeah, they'll be coming in the boats, and then they can take the boat back. But that's where the town council needs to get more involved. The first they gave me this for you, and he hands you a big satchel, and inside that satchel there is a ton of coin. For those who care to count it, it is 785 gold. This is your half of the return fee. So I'm not keeping half, but they gave you half of what those goods are worth back to the shop owners. Because if not, then the town would have to find some way to pay insurance on it at full price. So you save the town a considerable amount of gold. So this is yours to keep as promised. They recommend that if you want to, you can put this money towards refinishing the house. If the house is stable and able to have people moved into, the town is willing to grant you that house for only 100 gold, which includes the title, the deed of the property, and everything like that, which is a bargain considering I had to pay closer to 500 gold just for the title for this place. But if it needs work, you guys are going to have the work done before that title can be provided for you. There's a few guilds in town that will be able to take care of that for you. It's for you guys to decide. I told them I'd at least bring you the money and let you think about that, and I can work out all the deals for you on your behalf. What they would like to propose is trying to put an end to the smuggling ring. They are willing to give you a few guards to help out with shifts, things along those lines, but they would like for you to consider going back up to the house and waiting to see if you can figure out the signaling and to take care of the vessel that comes to Saltmarsh. What are your thoughts?
if we don't have a problem with that, you know.
I'm all for it.
Other
I'd cer-
as he just reminisces about his days of raiding ships as a
They said that the reward would be whatever you find upon the ship that does not belong to Saltmarsh, plus 200 gold.
What about the ship itself?
That is part of the deal.
So don't destroy the ship.
Preferably.
yes, yeah, that's I think that's the idea, Deluge, that Rogelio's.
It could come in handy.
Handy.
interested and willing to participate in such a venture? We could make that house a wonderful place to live. It's big enough for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly.
Let's see.
Cave area, try to make it a little bit more into a dock that we can have our boats at.
I think we're gonna need a bit more gold to do that.
Seems a little bit out of the way.
It's precise.
Pardon me?
Having lived my life in the city, the way sounds good to me.
I'm in.
Still
I'm
make
definitely
trips into the town.
I will do whatever you all decide. It
You've
is
been
considered
awful
your
quiet.
I'm looking very worried.
Deluge.
You delude.
I'm just thinking. What about the people on the boat? Do we have to keep them alive?
And Nightbreeze kind of looks off in the distance. He goes, every boat has a captain, and the captain usually knows everything. Outside of that, there's no reason.
I'll do it.
He goes, some of the stuff has been missing for about a week, so it might be advantageous to make your way back up to the house. I would recommend maybe stopping by the jail to let the guards know that there were more traps around, because again, poaching is a punishable crime.
Well, I mean, I don't know how the rest of you feel, but I'm ready to go back up there. Feel strangely refreshed.
The town council did have one final request. They need a name for your charter.
I think we had agreed on Misfortune's Glory.
Yes. I like
Agreed.
this.
Okay, so he writes
Yeah,
that down.
that does that's
Because that's
that.
that's an interesting name. I will make sure they get that information. We'll have it recorded in the ledger, and your new paperwork will be here whenever you return. Food will be supplied to you guys every day. It will come by way of guards in plain clothes. But since I now have the name of your group, they will be looking for Misfortune's Glory. They will also switch out the guards so that way we can keep fresh guards up there with you. But we'll have food and some supplies for you. Make sure you take your bedrolls, and yeah, we'll get word back and forth via carrier if needed. And he looks over at you, Deluge, and he goes, Deluge, I do believe that Ilsa has something for you on your way out.
Really? Things are looking up.
Breeze aside, is there anywhere I could find some fishing gear?
Yeah, actually, there's a few places in town. You could check out the empty net. The market itself usually has a lot. Um, I mean, almost every single market along the shore will carry something for you. Even the most taverns do. Mine doesn't, but just because I cater to a slightly different crowd. But like the snapping line will. You might even be able to find some stuff like hooks and things along those lines at the Dwarven Anvil. Um, but yeah, there's quite a few places.
I'd like to round up some fishing gear since we're going to be living on the sea.
Come
Perhaps
with
we
you.
can-
I'll come with you, Circe. I need to pick up a couple things that I might be that I probably might possibly need in the near future. So,
Friend Deluge here with a fresh supply of fresh fish.
this doesn't sound like a bad idea.
I'd like to go with you, Circe, as well, if that's okay. We have
I
things
would
to talk
say
about.
your best bet for this time of day would be Winston's store, which is
General store?
kind of. He gives you directions. Is up east along the coast. I'm dropping his token on the map now. That's right. We figured out north is to the left, correct?
Yes, if
Yeah.
I remember.
So yeah, it's up east a ways. It'll be the large house that overlooks the cliff. If you reach the cemetery, you've gone too far. They say that about so many things. I know.
I think I'm going to go as well.
Okay. He goes, well, best of luck. Your guards should be meeting you there, if not this evening, first thing in the morning. You might have one night by yourself. Just pay close attention.
Certainly.
Hey,
And he, do you guys want me to maintain your gold here in the safe so you don't have it on you?
It's probably for the best. The temptation to spend is a little strong.
Okay. He pulls out.
yeah.
He goes into his office and he pulls out a large tray. And on that tray, he pulls out a bunch of bags, and he's got a bunch of bags, and he writes your names on each of the bags. He goes, if you guys want to keep it together or independent, he goes, I've been with adventuring parties that they pool all their money together. So if you just want to put one giant bag in there, you can do that. But if you guys want to keep your money separate, I've been with adventuring parties that do that too. Here you go. Just feel free to do that, and I'll make sure it's locked up and taken care of. The only two people who have the combination are myself and Ilsa.
See, it'd probably be best if we keep it all pulled together.
Yes, I agree. For the time being.
Agreed.
I'll let one of you track all that. So you get it all together, you put it into a couple bags, and he takes it back, and he even shows you where the safe is, so you guys know where it's at. And he will give each of you the combination. So if you guys ever need it and he's not around, you have access to your money. And he goes, all right. So he points kind of out the door towards where Winston's is. He goes, there's Winston's, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
And Ilsa walks up to you, Deluge, and she goes, so I was talking about your interesting eating habits with some of my friends, and some of them happen to be members of the, what's it called? I had it just a second ago. I was ready for this. They happen to be followers of Lulz, L-U-Z. And it's a quartermaster's guild, and they provided this for you. And there's this large bucket filled with complete, like, this must have been caught within the last couple of hours fish. And they said, here you go. This is for you. I figured you would appreciate it more than anyone else I know.
Aw, shucks.
Aw,
It's almost
shucks.
like you like me or something.
Because, well, I'm under orders to make sure that you're all taken care of.
Oh. Well, when you put it like that, it sounds so.
So, do you guys make your way to Winston's?
Yep, I'm gonna munch on my fish along the way.
Nice.
But halfway there, I'm gonna scuttle up to Cirrus and just kind of do my best to get its attention and kind of stage whisper, because I actually don't want to tell anybody any of this.
See,
Pardon?
If you don't want to tell anybody, that's fine. Adam, everybody else, take off
Oh
your
no,
headphones.
I'm not trying to
Oh.
actually make everybody think. It's kind of like I said, a stage whisper that's just like.
Oh, gotcha,
I think
gotcha,
I'm being private, but I'm not.
gotcha. Okay.
Seriously, I did as you asked it, and I talked with I sat and talked with my cards, and I'm worried. I did my usual 3 pull, and it did not go well. I pulled judgment, and it was reversed. It means doubt and self-loathing, and not being aware, and its element is fire. Which means not very good. Bad things are going to happen. We're doing the wrong thing. Possibly, maybe. Or I'm doing the wrong thing. I'm not sure.
with fire at the very least.
Yes. And then I pulled the King of Pentacles, and that was reversed as well. And that means greed and overindulgence. And that's not good either. Doesn't good signs for us. And then I also pulled 10 of Swords. And that usually means failure, or collapse, or defeat. And I don't have a good feeling. I think, I do believe we're in for some, well, I believe we're gonna live up to at least half of our name, and that's misfortune.
We can bring glory to that. As to the dangers we'll face, smuggling operation.
Maybe. I'm not sure. I think we're all gonna die horribly. Maybe Deluge will get that death shot I've been protecting for a while. I don't know why it hasn't happened yet.
Shines strongly when it's hot.
Maybe. We shall see. And she'll just
Looking into
go back
that,
to what she did. Pardon me?
that, however.
All right.
So Rahelia, how big of a ship do you think that they're for the smuggling operations?
Not quite sure. It has to be fairly large. For them to be even using a keel boat like that makes it. If it was small enough, they'd just bring it in closer to shore. But it must be a fairly large ship. But I have no idea.
That's what I was thinking too. It's just
Could I make some sort of roll with my maritime background to determine how large of a ship would it even need to be to carry such a little support boat like that?
Sure. Go ahead and give me a history check at advantage.
Eight.
It's bigger than a boat of the same size. No, with an 8, I would be willing to say that you can ascertain that it needs to be sloop size or larger. That this is definitely not a single. This is not a like a personal craft. This is more along the lines of a business class level sloop. So probably a double decker sloop. Could be a brig. Could be a galleon. Could be a man of war.
There's no such thing as this Man of Wars.
Not yet. A few more updates.
It's definitely. It's a decent ship, I'm sure.
I had that feeling too. Just trying to think, if we're gonna It's just crew we're gonna have to go through, or be the captain first. This is all conjecture, this is all there, and it's trying to think of tactically how we're gonna when it comes to it.
Well, I'm sure part of the crew is just regular sailors. I'm sure they won't fight to the death. I'm more concerned that there are more hobgoblins on board the boat, which that's what we really need to be concerned about.
All right. So as you guys are continuing this conversation and walking up to Winston's, let's go ahead and take our break for the evening. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. So see you guys very shortly, and yeah, bye for now. And welcome back, everyone. Is it just on this one? Let me check one more thing. Yep, just on the last one that I need to change Cirrus and Rogelio around. So we'll just stay here for a little bit. All right, welcome back from the break. We are back. You guys are walking up to Winston's. We are going to kind of do this quickly because I want to get you guys to something fun and interesting. So, you guys walk into Winston's and you find, where am I? What is this place? Who are these people? So you see a halfling standing behind the counter. There's a bunch. I mean, there's bait, traps, rods, reels, line, nets, additional rope, hinges, the little odds and ends that you might need. Fairly neatly organized throughout the entire place. But you see anything you can think of for fishing, it probably exists here. And he looks up at you as you walk in and he goes, welcome to my store. You must be new. I do not know you, and I know everyone. How can I help you?
Good day. I'm looking to just equip myself to do a little fishing while I'm in the area. I am new here. And I'll be fishing from the shoreline, so perhaps out and also nets and the various other supplies I might need. If you could set me up with that, I would be much.
Oh, I can definitely do that. Everybody seems to like to come to me because solid goods and honest prices. That's what I always say. So let me see. What else can I get for the rest of you? I'll try to get it all together for you.
A treasure in some some herbs.
Okay.
I need 3 grappling hooks.
Grappling hooks. You taking down a whale?
It's complicated.
I think I've got something. You
And
need like
3 additional 50-foot lengths of rope.
rope I have for days. So do you need like? Are we talking like for a shark? Or are we talking about for like the Kraken or a megalodon?
I'm talking like climbing up the side of something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could. I think I've got something for you. Anybody else?
Can I just take a look around, see what's there?
Sure, absolutely.
Do you want me to roll?
Nothing. You're in the store. Anything in particular you're looking for, or just odds and ends, or?
I'm just browsing, seeing if there's anything interesting, basically. I don't really need anything, so I'm gonna see if there's anything interesting, and I'm gonna see if there's potions as well, though, after.
The only thing that he has that may even look like potions are all like fishing oils.
Okay.
So those like fish oil and then oils to aid in fishing
Okay.
for bait. Like the cheater spray for bass. And you also see, again, it's a lot of if you can think of what it could be used for when it comes to fishing, be it for
Worms, leeches,
there's
scrubs.
some bait, and there's also different hooks. There's different types of line. There's bobbers. There's buoys. There's rope. He's got spools and spools of rope outside. He's got cages stacked up outside that you could see as you were walking up. He's got a few inside on display for crab, things on those lines. Nothing really seems out of place. There is a box of maps behind the counter. You can see the tubes sticking up with a few maps. There's a barometer. There's a couple of mounted sailfish and things along those lines as well.
That's nothing for me then.
So you have bait for fishing?
Yes,
Do you have glowworms?
I do actually. Got a shipment in last week.
I will take a small container full of glowworms, please.
Easy enough. Easy enough. What are you using the glowworms for? I'd like to always pick the brains of people who are using specialty bait like that.
Magic.
Enough said. Okay then. So the glowworms, it's a small jar, are going to cost you 1 gold. The rest of your supplies, I would say for Rogelio, you wanted the full kit, right?
I wanted 3 grappling hooks and 3
3
additional
grappling
ones.
hooks, and that would cost you 5 gold, 2 silver.
Cool.
And it was Circes that wanted the full kit, right?
I want to be able to fish from shore, net, and even maybe a small crab pot as well.
All right, so the crab pot in and of itself is 1 gold. The rod and line and extra line and bait and hooks and fishing net as a single kit is an additional 2 gold.
And hand them to him.
All right.
Winston, Rogelio is the name.
Nice to meet you, Aurelio.
You say you know everyone. Have you ever met a guy in town named Ned?
I know a couple of Neds over at the shipwrights. There's a 3-fingered Ned, and there's also a peg-leg Jim's Ned. He's a young boy, about 7.
Just curious. Knew a Ned in Saltmarsh once.
Yep, I mean those are the only Neds that I know, and I know almost everyone. It's part of my job.
Oh, thank you.
Sure
You have
thing.
a fine shop here.
Finest in
think,
the land, says I. Finest
I
in the
imagine we'll be back here in time.
land.
Oh,
Always feel free. Come on by all times. My light's on. I am open.
All right, great.
So Winston, did you have that charcoal, incense, and herbs available, or?
I've got charcoal and incense. I've got that for sure, but the herbs I do not. The charcoal incense, it will cost you 10 silver for a bundle.
We take that, and happen to have a brass brazier.
Yeah, I do. There's a few. There's the brand new ones, and there's the ones that I get on consignment. The brand new ones run about 4 gold, and the ones on consignment that I have run for about 1 gold.
Guess I'll take a brand new one. So I hand him over 4 gold for the brazier and 10 silver for incense, and so I guess I'll find the herbs someplace else. Nature.
All right.
My game, we call those braziers.
Braziers.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, jeez.
Read aloud texts. One of those kind of snuck up on me.
Do they typically come in pairs?
It's just a single, yeah.
I think the one that night came on a triple.
But yeah, like I said, if my light's on, I'm open. If you need me, my light's off. I live right upstairs.
Good to know. Well, I think Rogelio would look around and be, well, unless anyone else has anything, I think we should probably be on our way.
Oh, one more thing. A small spool of twine.
Oh, that's easy. He just reaches around. There's a box and pulls a bundle, like a roll of twine out. He goes, 5 copper.
Sure, that'll work.
All right. Well, best of luck fishing. For those glowworms, you know that we're supposed to have a decent moon tonight for glowworms, so you might be able to use them.
Excellent.
And you guys take off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm good.
All
Head
right.
down to the house.
Good.
Are you stopping by anywhere else? The jail, the market?
Wanted to notify the city watch of the traps, the additional bear traps that we saw around the area of the house. I wanted to come investigate that.
Yeah, is there somewhere that I can find potions?
Let's see. Give me a second. Let me take a look. Winston tells you that most potions are either held by the guilds, the houses, or can be occasionally purchased at the market, which usually closes at sundown.
What time of day is it?
You're nearing sundown. You got enough time to make it to the market. And I will say that Deluge, since you spent some time there, you did see one vendor who did sell potions.
And should we go pick some up?
I guess so. You
Certainly
never
wouldn't
know with
hurt.
us.
Okay. So you guys want to swing down and stop by the market?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So Deluge, knowing the way and knowing the stall that you saw, is able to lead you. There is a dwarf with a long gray beard who is behind the counter. There's various potions that he's got out on display. He's starting to pack up, and he sees you walk up. How can I help you?
Hi, my good friend. I'm Miss Oddity Price, and I'm looking for some potions of interest. I'm mostly looking for healing potions, but what do you have on offer?
I've got various potions. I've got potions for some healing. I've got potions for some ailments. I've got potions to help you see a little bit better, and potions to help you disappear. I've got oil to help your blade be sharper and your hooks be a little bit better.
Is that interesting to anybody else? And I'll look at everybody.
I'm good.
The healing certainly is.
Yeah.
So what kind of healing potions are you looking for? Are you looking for the little ones or the big ones or the mysterious ones?
What are the mysterious
He
ones?
kind of looks around a little bit. He reaches down, pulls out a box, and as it opens, you can see a purplish glow. He goes, I've only seen a few of these, but these ones are interesting.
Do they look
They
like the
do.
ones that I
Yeah.
have?
Yeah, I can give you a perception check.
Seven.
That's enough. It was a 5 or better. So yes, they look exactly like the ones that you were holding.
What are they?
Well, as long as the mixture is right, this potion makes you feel as though you have slept for an entire day. You wake up fully refreshed, vital, and ready to attend to all that matters before you. If it's not mixed right, it makes you feel like you've been up for a week.
What's the failure rate on that?
It's about 50-50.
Ooh.
But I know that these ones are mixed right, and that's why they're 300 gold each.
And the healing potions, the normal ones.
If you want the little ones, they range from about 50 to 75. I've got some double dosers for about 80. If you want some of the bigger ones, they get a little bit pricier.
I'll take a double dose.
All right, I got 2 of those left, so that's 160.
How many gems and random craps do we have that need to turn to gold somehow? I feel like we have a lot.
And
Let me pull up my thing.
2 cut blue quartzes.
We have 4 emeralds. Diamond, which she has.
Healing.
7 golden ribs. 1 gold human skull. Golden rose. Golden apple. 5 gold weight discs. Uncut emerald. 1 luminescent pearl. That's what I've got recorded. None of that's ever been converted to gold.
I don't want to. I don't necessarily want to do that right now. Just something to keep in mind, I guess, in the future. And how much are the smaller ones again? 50, you said?
50 for the ones that are the little ones. But if you want to get the double dose, it's 80. But she just bought the only 2 that I have left, so that's 160 for those 2. So that's 2 of them in 1 vial.
Well, I'll just take one of
You
your
can have
small
one,
ones.
Rogelio, if you pay for it.
I'll pay 71 gold of it.
Did
I'll
you
s-
take everything that we've had?
I'll say for 200, I'll give you 2 double dosers and 1 small.
Does anyone want to pitch into that?
I'm broke.
And how much?
I'll put up
I
100
got about
gold.
Indy.
Sorry, how much? Seriously?
About 50.
Okay. I'll throw 50 at it as well, then.
All right. So you guys are able to get 2 double dosers and 1 small, 1 standard. Is there anything else I can help you guys with?
I know I'm good. It's,
All right. Well, I gotta get to packing up, or else I will be home late. And you know how the misses are. So he starts packing up, and where to next?
I need to get them go. There's nowhere else I need to go.
I'm good. I guess the house.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. So you guys depart the market, go across the bridge, continue north along the long road towards the gate, passing by a few houses, the jail.
Oh, the city watch.
You want to stop by the jail?
We were gonna.
Just to let them know about the bear traps.
All right. You guys can see Jameson in his cell as you walk in. What do you tell them?
Let them know that we found a few bear traps. Bluff.
And Jameson just kind of looks down. He's like, "Those are probably mine. I'm the only one in that area."
I'm going back the house.
Yeah.
God, come up through there. Just tell them to be very careful.
And the guard kind of looks over Jameson, notes it down, says, "Duly noted. Thank you."
Is Jameson like on death row?
Yeah.
I think it's worth noting that Jameson's traps helped us catch a potential killer, so that should also be noted that perhaps his sentence should be far more lenient.
Well, where is this potential killer? What evidence do you have against them?
extended
Well,
on the killer A, location A.
It's a bit complicated, but I'm sure if you just take us for our word here, he saved our friend inadvertently.
Well, if you'd like to file a report, the chief of the watch will be here. He's here during the day, and we could take the information and we could use it on his side during the trial if necessary.
I'll be sure to stop in.
When's the trial, by the way?
It is 5 days from now.
Oh, plenty of time. You gentlemen have a good evening.
You folks as well. That's what I was looking for.
Once we're out of earshot. Oh my god, I hate guards. No offense, Circe.
None taken.
All
Have
right.
a a street.
All right, so you guys make your way up the road. It is definitely coming up on nightfall as you're nearing the house. It's been a long-ish day for many of you.
I feel great.
You feel great. You can see the house up the final hill off in the distance. As you are drawing closer up the path, you see lamps off to the right in the trees. Up ahead, about 30 to 40 feet.
How many lamps? Just like one,
You see
two.
two lamps. You see two lamps.
Any blinking?
No, they're in the woods, and they are moving not towards Saltmarsh, but in that general direction.
Someone should go have a look. Someone sneak.
Perhaps since this is almost our property, we should go investigate.
I can go take a look potentially.
Can you
The
see in the
stealthiest
dark?
amongst us.
Sort of.
Sort of.
I mean, there's some light. I mean, it's probably just the guards that the town sent up here. I can't imagine some bandits would be walking around up here with lanterns alight.
It does make a good point there. Probably it's the guards. Figured that's good. It's good. Jim, just because, like Circe said, this is. We should be mindful property owners.
Okay, Oddity's gonna jump up and go, yoo-hoo!
As you do that, the lights quickly go out. Dun dun dun. And you hear some commotion. Who does have dark vision?
As it was getting dark, I probably would have cast my little anglerfish of light, so.
That's fair.
I have it.
Okay. With the dark vision, you can see more than 4, less than 10 figures moving in the woods that now are looking directly at you from about 30 feet away.
Just figures, can't make out.
Not really. Not with all of the brush.
Mm.
Well, I don't think they're our friends.
Oddity, fireball!
And I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna step directly behind Circe.
I'll make my halberd ready.
They see you making ready from the woods. 2, 3, 4, 5 javelins come flying at you. Before I do that, what's your marching order? Who's in front?
It was probably me with the lights.
I was probably right behind her.
I was hiding behind Circe.
I was next. Oh,
Who are you next to?
to Rogelio, next to you, sir.
Okay, let me move us over, and everybody roll initiative, please.
Listen, bards and rogues love tanking.
All right, 25 to 20.
Oh yeah, I gotta do that.
So many people. All right, 15 to 20.
18.
Nice. Was that you, Shannon?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
15 for me.
What was it? 15? All right. We will do 10 to 15. All right, 5 to 10.
9 for oddity.
Circes.
And for good old Deluge.
4.
All right. Good to know. So, there are 5 javelins that come out of the woods, flying in your general direction. Let's have some fun.
Fun, he says.
All right. So against Deluge, it is a It's a 18.
That'll hit.
You take 5 damage.
Oh, goody.
Against Rogelio, it is a 23.
Just hits.
Okay, you just take 5 damage. Against Calder, it is a 21.
Let that hit.
Okay. This time you'll take 5 damage. Circes, it is a 13.
Yes.
All right, and against Oddity, and I'll give you half cover since you're behind a Dragonborn, and it doesn't matter. It flies incredibly wide and misses you completely.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that, we are at the top of the order. There is dense brush in this area between the two of you, so it would be difficult terrain.
Can I hide?
You are in the middle of the road. You can attempt to hide.
I mean, in the brush.
Yes, you can definitely attempt to hide.
So like, would I just have to move forward a bit to get into the brush?
Yeah, I'm going to try to see if I can draw an area to show you guys the difficult terrain. There.
I don't see it.
Yep.
Aha. I'm going to step forward a little bit and then attempt to hide within the brush.
All right, roll me a stealth check.
That is... Hold on. Where's my stealth? That is a 22.
All right, good to know. All right, now they get to go. They're going to move to there,
Oh god.
there,
Oh god.
there,
This is fine.
there, and there. Being impeded slightly by the brush. At this point, you guys can all tell that these people look like giant lizards. Or they are lizards that are the size of people. They are going to... all ready actions. All right. Calder, you're up.
So, so you said this is difficult terrain.
Yep,
So cuts my movement in half.
correct.
I am going to 10 right here, and I am going to gentleman in front of me right there.
Go for it.
E. Hey,
You're breaking up. What was the roll?
8.
8. You swing wide. Your hand got caught in the brush a little bit as your bearded axe comes across and just kind of gets deflected.
as my bonus action, I'm going to swing with my. That is going to be
A 20?
23.
23. I'll let that one hit this time.
Generous is the DM.
So that's going to be 5 points of damage.
And noted.
Bye. That's my turn.
Okay. Oddity.
I am going to step around Circe's a little bit, basically just enough to get a good look. Send a. Do I have a clear shot at this one?
It's high brush, so they do have partial cover.
Okay. I'm gonna cast a Witch Bolt at it.
Go for it.
They won't have.
Oh, that's good. That's 23.
23 hits.
Nice. And what's Witch Bolt? That is 1d12. And that's for 5 damage.
All right, noted. He's looking a little rough. We are now to Circe.
Okay. Up. Once you get into the brush, right?
Yeah, it's half your movement.
Meet this fellow right here. Swing with my halberd. That is a dirty 20.
All right, that's a dirty hit.
Points of from my halberd.
How many?
8.
8. Got it.
Yep.
So you come down with your halberd. You feel it slicing through some of the vines and brush. You connect with the chest plate of the lizard folk, dealing your damage. Deluge.
Alright, I'm gonna move right here. And I'm gonna need a charisma saving throw from this guy, and this guy.
Charisma.
And they have to... Yes, because I am casting Bane.
What's your number?
12.
12. All right. First one is a fail. Second one is a fail. Third one is a pass.
Alright, so those first two just... They have to roll a d4 and subtract it from every attack roll or saving throw.
All right.
Then let's see. What else am I gonna do? I guess that's all I'm gonna do for now.
Okay. Back to Rogelio.
Okay. So I am going to step up here next to this guy and take a stab at him with my rapier. And miss with a 5.
The brush just got wrapped around your wrist or something. It's weird.
And then I'm going to use my cunning action to attempt to hide again.
Go for it.
Well, yeah. That is a 17.
Good to know. All right. This one is going to come towards you, Deluge. It can barely make it. This one is also going to come to you, Deluge. This one doesn't see you, so it's going to attack Calder. This one's going to attack Circe. And this one is 10, 20, 25, 30. It's going to come out towards Oddity. All right, so Deluge, you got 4 attacks coming at you, all with -4?
Yep.
Or all with a minus D4, right?
Yes.
All right, so they're going to try to swing at you with their club and then try to bite you.
Okay.
All right, so the clubs are first. It is 7, 6, 5. It's not enough. 12
Nope.
for the first one. The second club from the other one is an 11.
Nope.
For the bites, it is a 14.
That'll hit.
And for the other bite, it is it's impossible. It's a 3, 2, 7.
So 1 bite hits.
One bite hits. So you are going to take 6 points of piercing damage as it bites you.
Oh, good.
Calder, same thing. It's going to try to bite you, and then it's going to try to. It's actually going to try to club you, and then it's going to try to stab you with its spiked shield. It's got a tortoise shell that has some spikes coming down from the end of it that it's going to try to stab you with. So that would be a 13 for the club.
Does not hit.
And a 17 for the shield.
That ties.
That ties. All right. So you take 7 points of damage as it brings the spikes down into your thigh. Circe, the one that's trying to attack you, is going to do the shield against you, and that is a 14. And then they're going to try to bite you, which is a 17. Either of those hit? Okay, good. And the one that moved as much as it could, that's its first round of movement. It's going to do its second round of movement to engage with Oddity, but it can't attack. So, there we go. La-di-da-di. Calder, you're up.
Alright, so I'm going to do my bonus action first, and I'm going to take my second wind. And I'm going to get this back. And then I am going to swing the... me. 15.
15 hits.
Where's my D8? The points of damage.
How many? Okay.
4, I believe.
All right.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Now we are going on
Yeah.
to Oddity.
With the cover, I think I'd probably be concentrating trying to hit that one. I had attacked before, and with Witch Bolt. Pull it up again. Okay, yeah. So I can deal another 1d12 damage to that one automatically,
Okay.
and that's 10 damage.
All right. So Calder and Rogelio, the one that can't see you, Rogelio, but the one that you just hit, Calder, you see it have another blast of purple energy that strike it, and you can smell the sizzling, almost like chicken smell, but a little burnt, as it falls to the ground, twitching in front of you. So it's one down. Circe,
Yeah, I'm going to take a swing with my halberd again.
go for it.
Ooh, that's a nat 20.
Go for it.
My roll is 9 plus 2 on damage. 7.
It's looking real rough. 15 hits.
Damage die from the crit.
Oh,
15 damage.
15? Oh, then you slice its neck wide open, and there's a black ichor of blood that sprays into the air. So that's 2 down. I should have thrown like 7 at you guys.
Scored the one by oddity.
Go for it. And you just moved? That's it? Okay. Now we go to Deluge.
Alright, so let's. Well, I'm going to stab at this one right here with my rapier, hopefully. That's
Okay.
the plan, anyway. 16.
16 hits.
That's going to be 8 damage.
8 damage. Noted.
And then I'm gonna crack at the same one with my hammer.
All right.
Hopefully.
You aiming for the toe?
And that's gonna be a 17
17 hits.
with 4 damage.
All right. It's looking rough.
That's
Rogelio.
all I got.
Rogelio. So inside this terrain, it's double movement.
Yeah.
I'm going to slip behind these two, draw out the moon touched rapier, and give a stab at the one that Deluge has been hitting.
All right. I'll give you advantage. You have it
Okay.
anyway because you came out of hide, right?
Yes, so that is a 15.
15 hits.
Okay. So that is. That's 5 damage.
5 damage. Noted.
And I'll hit it with the sneak attack as well. So 4 additional damage.
It is looking super rough.
And I'll swing back at it with the other blade.
Go for it. You still have advantage.
That one is at 18
That's a hit.
for 4 more damage.
And as you come back in with a second time for the second blade, you thrust the rapier right below the rib cage, and you can feel it pierce through the thick reptilian skin, and you can feel the lung sac pop with the pressure of the blade, and it lets out a horrible scream and falls to the ground. Also, want to let the rest of the party know that as Rogelio pulled out the moon-touched rapier, you could see a soft blue glow start to emanate 30 feet from his space. It is now considered no longer dark. Or is it
That's
10
me.
feet?
I think it was 15 bright, 15 dim.
Yep. All right. So, this lizard folk is still focusing on Deluge. And this one is still focusing on Oddity. So, Deluge, 2 attacks coming at you. With the minus...
Pose disadvantage on the lizard that's attacking Oddity with my defensive fighting style protection.
Nice.
Which to do.
All right, So for the first attack against Deluge, it is a 14.
That'll hit.
The second attack, it is a 7.
14 will hit.
All right, so for the 14, you are taking 6 points of piercing damage as it bites into your arm.
I'm down.
And Deluge falls
Ah.
unconscious to the ground. Oddity, the one attacking you, has disadvantage, which is a good thing. Which is a really good thing. So that's only a 7.
Doesn't hit. Thank you.
Is that disadvantage on both attacks or the first attack, Wiley? Does it say
Just
all
says
attacks
I can-
or a attack?
I can use my reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll.
Okay.
Because I'm using a reaction.
Yeah, so that's the first one. So the second one is a 22.
Oh, that definitely hit.
So as it comes at you with its heavy club, it does 7 points of damage.
Ow.
All right. Calder, you're up. You saw Deluge. You heard Deluge fall.
Since you got this one here, out, pointing his axe at the one lizard folk here, and he's going to run to engage over top of so,
All right.
and I'm going to swing, and I get advantage because Raheli is.
Yep, because Rogelio's adjacent.
So for the first one, that's going to be in
What was it? You cut out. 18. Yeah, that's a hit.
the damage.
How much? Got it.
Bonus action, I'm going to swing with my offhand. An 11.
11 misses.
It's my turn.
All right. Oddity.
I'm gonna turn towards the one that's right next to me, and I'm going to cast. Yeah, anything else I think would get me in trouble. I'm gonna cast poison spray at him. He has
Okay.
to be at a con save of 13.
Con save of 13. Fail.
And he takes 8 damage.
8 damage, noted. I cast Fireball on the party. Okay, now we are to Circes.
Hit my halberd upon the skull of this lizard man.
Go for it.
If I hit, I'm going to burn a spell slot and roll 2d8 additional light damage.
Nice.
19
That's funny.
You say 18? That's a hit.
A spell slot. I rolled a 10 on damage, so that's 12 damage.
12 damage. Noted.
Hit him as well.
How much additional?
Total of 22. It was 12
Oh. Oh.
divine smite damage.
Okay. You bring it down squarely on the back of the skull, and you feel it completely cave in. You crush the furl, the yellowish furl on the back of its head that goes from the crest all the way down the back of it. You crush it into the skull. You feel the bone give way. You feel what is little there for brain smash underneath your halberd as your halberd continues down and finds the spinal cord, and you drive the spinal cord down into the ground, causing it to sit as it dies.
That's gonna leave a mess.
Oh my.
With that, Deluge, death save, please.
Oh boy.
The deluge.
12.
That's a pass. Rogelio.
I'm gonna take my best shot at this last lizard man. That is a 15.
15 hits.
So it's 10 plus sneak attack, 14.
You thrust your rapier right between the spinal column of the lizard folk. You feel the tendons give way. You feel the nerve endings snap. You twist your blade and you feel the bones separate even more. His legs go limp and he falls to the ground. You move your blade out of the way and he moves down on top of your blade, and you slice him open from the back as you destroy him, and he falls forward on the ground, and you are all no longer in initiative.
I would shift over towards Deluge.
Lay on hands. 5 for deluge.
Yeah.
Deluge, you now have 5
Calling
hit
upon the
points.
Lathander.
Yeah, that's 5 more than I had before. Alright.
I think for a moment, Rogelio watching this happen, uh, seeing the power of Lathander save another one of his companions, he, you know, it affected him in some way, for sure.
Good to know. Would you guys like
I'm
to
gonna check the
loot?
bodies.
Yep, there it is. Give me an investigation check.
When do we not check the bodies?
We'll have
Let's
that
see.
action will always be readied.
16 for me.
Got a, you said investigation,
Yep.
320.
Okay.
5, I'll just be cleaning my blade.
Like you guys have got this.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a natural 20.
Okay, good to know. And what'd you get, Deluge?
Fine.
I mean, I just woke up. I don't know if I'm searching for anything. I just kind of came to.
We'll say you guys spent about 10 or 15 minutes. I'll give you a search.
Alright. Then that's gonna be a 22.
All right. So based on your guys' average, I will say that you found. Somebody ready to write this down? Because you know me, I don't have it from script. You find 5 gold, 2 electrum, 4 platinum, 60 silver, 38 copper, 1 superior healing potion,
Nice.
and 1 double dose healing potion.
Nice.
I think also, if I could, riding on that 20, thinking back to Ned mentioning they were selling weapons to the lizard folk.
Mm-hmm.
Do these weapons appear to be like primitive weapons, or are they clearly like
The clubs and the shields are definitely primitive weapons, but when you go back and look, the javelins are brand new.
and definitely not like a
Yeah, they're metal
made from
tipped.
bone or
Yeah, they're metal tipped with wood. The metal is still silver and shiny. And if you guys want, you guys can collect a total of. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12 javelins.
These javelins may be useful in the caves below as traps and so forth. We should collect these.
So,
certainly.
and these are they're just your standard javelin, but these ones are definitely just not all wood like you would expect. Like the heavy club, it's got like bone or stone or something with some twine and some rope or some sinew. The spike shield is literally a tortoise shell that has still the spikes from the larger tortoise on it. Maybe the spikes are a little bit more sharpened than normal. But these javelins they're brand new. It's like it's polished. It looks good. The tips are they're not silvered, but they're silver in color. They reflect the moonlight. They look like they just came out of a stock room.
I guess this confirms that piece of information.
Any maker's marks?
No maker's marks that you can tell.
Okay.
In fact, I'll go as far as to say that where there was a maker's mark, it's been canceled out.
It seems that we must have, they were looking. I'm betting these guys were probably to come pick up a shipment.
Yeah, but I don't remember seeing any weapons in the house. Like,
I'll
the
still
stock-
say, going off of your 20 as well, your natural 20, and then the 22 as well, these guys are carrying just typical patrol rations. They're carrying a little bit of jerky, maybe a snack. They don't have a lot on them. This money was spread out amongst all of them. It's not like they were carrying a coin purse or anything, or a satchel for delivery or sale.
so probably just random patrol from nearby somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, we should be careful when we go back in the house. Either way.
And I will say, based on what I know, at advantage, Shannon, I need a history check. Everyone else can give me a history check as well.
I have a 12.
Okay, a 2. Rogelio is polishing his rapiers.
10 for oddity.
Okay,
17.
17. And what was yours, Calder? 8. Okay.
New wave.
So I will definitely say, Deluge, you know this, and as if you decide to speak it, it will make sense to most of the others. So the fact that this is involving lizard folk is really weird, because anytime that you have heard of or dealt with lizard folk, you know that the term territorial xenophobe is always at play. They don't go outside of their race for anything unless they absolutely positively have to. So if there's some kind of trade deal going on, it's for something big. And the fact that they are carrying weapons that they probably wouldn't normally have just kind of starts to stitch that a little bit more together for you. They usually stick to even within their own tribe. They usually won't even go to other lizard folk unless they have to. They'll just stick tribal to themselves and deal with that. So the fact that all of this is starting to come together is now starting to, now that you've seen the lizard folk, now that you've seen a weapon, it's starting to fire a bunch of little things in your head and going, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, I'm not going to say this out loud.
Okay. So none of you know that, besides Deluge. Alright, so we will assume that you guys collect yourselves, collect your things, collect the new things that you have found, and you move your way up towards the house. You find it still vacant, and in the same state that you left it in. Where do you guys want to make camp for the evening?
I'd say probably upstairs.
Say definitely how about the room that looked out over the water, obviously where they had the
The lantern.
signaling.
I'd like to be able to see out over the water in case anything comes ashore.
And
Yeah. Guards yet?
There is no evidence of the guards at this point in time. So
I don't think they
I
were
believe
going
they were going to send them up tomorrow.
Yeah. They were going to come back in the morning with the boat, I think. Was what we were told, I can believe.
I believe that's correct, yes.
Alright, so you guys already know about the weak area in the floor, so I'll say that you guys are able to completely avoid that. Are you guys taking shifts for the evening?
I'll take the first
I'm fine
watch.
with it.
I'm feeling pretty awake, ready to go.
I'd like to take the sunrise watch if I may.
Okay.
I'll take first then.
Alright, give me perception rolls, and then we'll talk about what happens throughout the evening, and we'll bring this evening to a close for us. So first watch, what you got?
7.
Rogelio?
Oh. 15.
Okay. Who was second watch?
I'll take it.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. Both roll.
10.
Okay. Calder?
13.
Okay. And last watch.
I have a 15.
Okay. You see a few ships throughout your shift that come in. None of them are flashing lights. You do realize you have a really decent vantage point of the bay that comes in from the sea, as well as the bay that leads to the port for Saltmarsh. The ships that come in are not incredibly large, but they are a lot of smaller merchant vessels, like double-decker sloops, single-deck brigs, things along those lines. All of them sail-driven. Of course, there's a few that are row-driven that make their way through, but nothing too large. But you guys have a rather uneventful and rather restful evening. With that, we are going to bring this evening to a close. Players, please advance your characters to level 3 before next week. And let me know when you've done so. You're going to need it.
Yeah.
It's oath time.
So, with that, dear viewers, we bring this part of the tale to a close yet again. I thank you for those who have stopped by this evening to hear what we are weaving for the story. We will be back next week. We will be off on the 20th due to some previous obligations, but we'll be back the week thereafter. So we look forward to seeing you next Saturday, right around 8 p.m. So anything from the players before we leave besides Shannon pitching her podcast?
It's not my
Or
podcast.
not, I'm sorry, Miss Misery pitching her podcast that had Shannon on it.
No.
Nothing from anybody else? All
No,
right.
not really.
All right, well, we will see you guys all next week. Thank you again for stopping by. I am going to launch a raid, so please hang out for just about a minute, and I'll get things set up. It's been awesome. It's been real, and we will see you again soon.